The truth is, all you and I ever really have is now, this very second. We don't have tomorrow. Tomorrow is unknown. The past is gone. A wise person once said, the past is history, the future a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Today we're going to talk about how to capitalize on your now. Let's get into it. You ever find yourself struggling with now, this very moment, staying present in it? It's a practice that is known as mindfulness, the ability to live in this present moment. And for some reason, for us humans, it is difficult. I know for me, it is very difficult sometimes. And I'm not telling you what to do, I am telling you what we need to learn to do together. I have spent a lot of time practicing in the last year living in the present moment powerfully. But the truth is, I have a lot of downtime in my life where I am not in that present moment, where I am caught up. I'm more of a futurist in the future. Maybe for some of you, you were caught up in the past, and I definitely spend some time there every now and then. But for some people, you can't get past your past. It keeps dragging you down, it keeps burying you. And maybe you live most of your time there, or maybe you're more like me and you live thinking about what's next, or really more detrimental to us is worrying about what's next. Last night, I experienced some of this and it got me thinking about the video I wanted to make for you today. Last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, guess where I was? Wide awake in my bed, thinking about my future. Why was I doing that? It's a weird thing that these things happen in our life. But this upcoming week, one of our people in the sales job I work in is out. And I began to think about how that's going to change all of our schedules. We're going to have to adapt and adjust just like we always do. And I started thinking about, well, am I going to have to work late this night? Am I going to be there late in sales? You work a lot of late nights. Am I going to have multiple late nights this week? And I literally could not go to sleep worrying about what might happen. Now, who knows what's going to happen? There's all kinds of scenarios that can play out this week. The truth is, you and I spend so much of our energy, so much of our life force worrying about things that have either yet to happen, or may never happen. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what's going to change, how things are going to work out. We never know any of these things. So, how do we adapt our lives so that we live in now, in this very present moment? I want to give you a couple of tips on that today. I think the first thing is we need to learn to pump the brakes when we start feeling those feelings and thinking those thoughts of anything with this present moment. I'm not saying you shouldn't plan for the future. I'm not saying that goal setting and those things being organized and structured, nothing's wrong with any of that. Those are all great things. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is robbing ourselves of precious energy because we're either focused on what has yet to happen or we're caught up on something that's already happened and there's nothing we can do about it. Most of the time, we live in one of those two realms in our life. What would you say? Tell me in the comments, is the area you struggle with most? Is it living caught up in your past, maybe mistakes you made? Maybe you're in a current crisis because poor financial, poor relational, poor life decisions that you made in the past. And because of your present circumstances, you keep going back to those past decisions. Guess what? That past is behind you. It's gone. Tell me in the comments if you tend to live in the past, or maybe you're like me and you tend to live more in the future. You're concerned about what's next. You're looking at that next level, that next life, that next thing, sometimes to the detriment of your now. You worry about what might happen next. You worry about how you're going to get all the things done you need to get done. If you're like me and you're a dreamer and you're going after your future and you're aggressively pursuing it, maybe you worry about not doing all it takes to get to the place you're trying to go. Guess what you're doing when you do that? You're robbing yourself of energy that you could be spending right now. Right now, I am filming this video for you to help you. If I'm not doing this, do you know what I'm doing oftentimes? I'm worrying about what's going to go on tomorrow. What's going to happen? When am I going to have time to do this? It's better for me just to jump in and do something like this right now in this present moment where I live and I get energy from this. I get energy from helping you guys grow in your personal growth and on your personal journey. That gives me energy. I love doing these things. I love being caught in this moment right now, but I rob myself of that so often thinking about what's next. So if you're a next person, tell me that in the comments as well. I get caught up thinking about what I could do or should do or what could happen or what might happen, whether it's to worry about it or to anticipate it or to spend so much time thinking about it, you don't take any action in the now to make it happen. It is so good in our lives when we learn the balance of peace to get up and live in every single moment of our life. What I know and what I've learned over the last year or so in my own life is when I live in the absolute now, everything else seems to work out for the best for me in my life. When I go to my job and I don't worry, am I going to have to stay late? Am I not going to get the time off that I want to spend doing the things I love like this? Am I going to get the rest I need? When I don't spend my time worrying about all those things and I just enjoy this present moment, my life is so much better. I have so much more peace, so much more contentment, so much more happiness because I'm living in the powerful now when I do that. The thing is, it's not like riding a bicycle. It's not something that once you get it, you got it. I remember the day I learned to ride a bicycle, I think was about, I don't know, 7 years old, maybe. I just remember getting on this tiny little blue bicycle. I was at my cousin's house, and he had an older kid on his block. And this kid, for some reason, taught me what my parents had not been able to get through to me up to that point. He said, "You can do this." And he grabbed the back seat and he ran behind me. And before I knew it, he had let go. And I was riding. And I remember that day riding and riding and riding, and the freedom that I felt. And guess what? I've been able to ride a bicycle ever since. I wish living mindful, living in the powerful present was like that, but it's not. We forget these things if we don't practice them every single day. When you feel yourself starting to drift into worries about the future or regrets about the past, pump the brakes. Literally envision sitting in your car and hitting the brake pedal to slow down. And just slow down and think about what is going on right now. And do not believe the lies about your past or the lies about your future. Listen to the voice in your head. Listen to your source talk to you about the power of right now. Mentally pump the brakes in your life and say, what is really happening right now? I'd be willing to bet you that whatever you're worried about tomorrow or next week or next month or next year might not even happen. Very likely will not happen. If it does happen, it probably won't happen the way you have it envisioned in your head, and there will be a solution to it. Whatever you're worried about, whatever you're fretting about, whatever you're concerned about, stop worrying about what's coming next. Focus on what you can do and what you can experience and the peace you can have right now. If you're caught up back there in the past at mistakes you've made or things that didn't go your way or failed relationships or financial realities or whatever it might be, pump the brakes and stop when you start thinking like that and think, what can I do to change what I did then? Absolutely nothing. Can you make apologies to people you've hurt? Of course, and those are great things. Can you rectify bad behaviors? Of course you can. But you cannot go back and change the past, so don't live there. Don't spend your time living in a past reality or living worrying about a future possibility that keeps you from the powerful now. So pump the brakes every day when you start to feel like that. And the second thing is enjoy your now. Whatever's going on in the moment, enjoy it. Enjoy the person that's in front of you, the situation that's in front of you. If it's a bad situation, tell yourself right now, I'm going to decide that I'm going to grow from this situation. I'm not loving what I'm going through this moment, but I'm going to decide I'll grow from it. And I know this is going to benefit me down the road. So right now, I'm going to enjoy that very thing. And if you'll do that, I guarantee you, you'll begin to live mindful. You'll begin to live powerfully in your present moment, and the future will seem much more positive than it does to you right now, and the past will fade into black. You will forget about those past mistakes, those past regrets, because they are captured by the now. Here's the thing to remember when you're tempted to get out of the now. All you and I ever have is this second that's happening right now. Guess what? That second, it's gone now. The future second, who knows what's coming next? The truth is, you and I just have now. So live in it fully, and see the great things it brings to your life.